coming to you live from the penthouse suite at Hypnopunk headquarters. This is another episode of Unstuck Transformation with Edge, and today's episode is going to be about your gut, why it's so important, and listening to it and how it will never steer you wrong. Just a shout out to everybody who's been leaving their 5-star reviews on however you listen to these podcasts, whether they be on YouTube, Google Play or iTunes. Thank you so very much. That's what makes me want to put more of that content out there, guys, for free. I don't want to get paid for these, but it inspires me when I know people are downloading them, when I know people are sharing these, listening, leaving comments about stuff they want to hear, stuff that they like, stuff that they didn't like. It lets me craft the content that I'm going to put out there in the future for you guys, as I say, free of charge. And also, when you do leave your 5-star reviews, shoot me over a email at mail@LUKEnosis.com. Mail, M-A-I-L at LUKEnosis, LUKENOSIS.com, with a snapshot of the review that you left, and you'll get a 30-minute unstuck session with me over Skype. Now, please bear in mind, an unstuck session is not a hypnosis session. It is not a therapy session where you get to hemorrhage all over me all your problems and why your life is so terrible. No. You know, I don't work like that. It's an opportunity that if there's something in your life that's keeping you stuck from ascending to the next level and having more of the cool stuff you want to have, be and do in your life, then you get 30 minutes with me free of charge. And by the way, I'm friggin' expensive, guys, but you get 30 minutes of me free of charge where I can help you to brainstorm some ways to become unstuck. That being said, we're going to get on to the podcast at hand, which is how to develop your gut, how to listen to your gut. Now, we're not talking about your stomach, because most people don't want a fatter, bigger stomach. They don't want to expand their trousers and be a bigger size. No. Don't want to have a Levi's that go up, bigger waist. No, we're talking about gut reaction as that emotional gut reaction. You know, you just feel something in your gut, like don't go down that street, or you know, do bet on this horse, or these are your lottery numbers, or go on a date with this person, even though you know they're completely wrong for you logically. That's what I'm talking about. Now, often in life there's 3 things that we listen to. There's the head, which is very logical. It's all the facts, the figures, the data. All right. There's the heart, where emotions are, you know, how you feel about something. You're making the decision based on how you feel, but how you feel in that moment, because we know emotions change. It can steer you wrong, as can your head, because oftentimes thoughts change as well. But your gut is that thing that just cuts through all the bullshit, cuts through all of the noise, and it will never steer you wrong. It will never steer you wrong. It's like the internal compass, that internal GPS, that when you listen to it, when you take out the logic of the head, when you take out the emotion of the heart, and you simply listen to your gut, it will always keep you safe, and it will always allow you to do the right thing. I think oftentimes as the head as being the conscious mind, the conscious part of your mind, if you will, the awareness. You know, you're aware of stuff that's happening only when it's actually happening. It's the conscious mind, it's the logic, it's the facts, the figure, the raw data, and it is very, very valuable to have that critical faculty, absolutely, in most areas of life. But not all the time. It can get in the way, especially when it comes to making change work, because if you could fix yourself logically, as I often say to my clients, you'd probably be done now, and you've saved yourself a whole bunch of money and time, and you would have sat at home and said, it logically doesn't make any more sense to inject myself with heroin because it costs me too much money. I've lost my house, my kids and my wife, and I feel like shit. Most people know logically why they need to stop the problem, but it's not enough. Emotion, again, it's important to have emotions. It's the colourful rainbow, or it's the techno colour of our life. Without it, life would be pretty fucking boring, and I don't know if I'd want to live it if it was devoid of emotion. It is very important to have those spices in life, very important to feel the good emotions, and the emotions that at the time don't feel as good. But it's important to have those to calibrate. But often when we make decisions, or we just listen to our heart, it can steer us off in the wrong direction. Your gut, however, is that thing which, like, it doesn't feel, there's something that doesn't feel right about this, or there's something that completely feels right about this. And it's not emotional, it's not coming from the heart, because you're not like, oh, it feels good, it feels bad. It's just, I don't know what this feeling is I'm feeling. This is how you know when your gut's talking. I don't know what this feeling is, but it's just a feeling. There's something in my gut that says I shouldn't go for that interview tomorrow, or I should go on that date tomorrow, that person that I met. It cuts through all the noise. And oftentimes we live in a world where we're so living in our heads with logic most of the time that we've never been more disconnected from our spirit. We've never been more disconnected from our unconscious mind. We've never been more disconnected from our gut and the way things used to be, because we're living in our friggin' head. And that's not what changes stuff. Or we're so caught up in the emotions of everything all the time. We're like a ping pong ball going back and forth. One minute I feel good, next minute I feel bad. 1 minute I feel sad, 1 minute I feel happy. 1 minute I feel ecstatic, next minute I feel deeply depressed. You know, one thing that's for sure in life is whatever emotion you're feeling right now as you listen to this podcast, it will change. And then that will change. And then that will change. And that will change. The only consistent thing in life is change. So when people say, well, I just can't change, you cannot not change. Every moment of every day we're changing. Literally over the last year, the last 365 days, about 5 trillion cells inside your body have died and have been replaced, respawned by different cells. You, my friend, are not the same person you were a year ago. Now, you might look similar, you might have some similar ideas, you might have the same wife, the same kids, but you biochemically are not the same person. The only thing that's inevitable is change. Now, whether that change is good or not, I'm not sticking a label on it, but change is inevitable. It's always happening. But that gut feeling, like you're walking home one night, and you know if you walk through this alleyway, if you cut through the park, logically it gets you home quicker. It cuts 10 minutes off your journey. You know that. But your gut is telling you, you know what, just don't do it tonight. Don't do it tonight, love. It's a bad idea. Just don't do it. I don't know why. Just don't do it. And then you decide to go the long way around. You decide to listen to your gut. And here's the thing. When you listen to your gut and you act upon your gut, the frequency starts to get louder and louder and louder. So you can start to listen to your gut more. Unfortunately, so much of us being plugged into our own head or plugged into our own emotion that the signal, the sound of our gut is so weak. It's like a medium wave or an AM wave on a radio, and it's that weak, and it's like that, but going under a tunnel where you can barely even hear it. For some of us, it's like a guitar that hasn't been tuned in. It's like a tuning fork that's playing all kinds of wacky notes out there. How you become better at hearing your gut, acting upon your gut, is you hear it and you act upon it, then you get more and more messages from it. And when you listen to it and you act upon it, you'll make that $1 million deal if that's what you want. You'll get that ideal partner into your life. You'll get that amazing workout for you. You'll know how to train yourself how to eat, because your head's not getting in the way with logic and your heart's not getting away with emotion. You're just going by what your body wants. And when I say body, it's interchangeable, that term, with system, with the unconscious mind, with the subconscious mind, with the monkey mind, with the primal mind. I'm referring to the same thing. I think the purest manifestation of your unconscious mind trying to shout out to you and say, listen to me, is that gut reaction, that gut feeling. And the more you listen to it, the more you act upon it, the better it gets. Now, guess what? You can override your gut, and most of us do. It's like, yeah, my gut was saying I shouldn't have gone on a date with that guy, but logic said, you know, I could tick off all these things on my box. I mean, he was making the right amount of money, he had the right hairstyle, he had the right height, you know, he's the right age bracket for me, and he wants to get married as well. So I had all those tick off points, all those logical things, but my gut says this person's not right for me. Or another time you're about to go on a date with somebody, like, this person makes me feel this way. I feel really, really, really good. And like, when I'm around this person, I feel really, really good. But my gut tells me this is not the right person for me. You can override it and go by emotion, and you'll probably be miserable, and it might be fun for a while, but eventually that train will come off the tracks and you'll be miserable. The more you listen to your gut, the more you act upon the gut, the louder it becomes, the more it will steer you to what you want, because it's the purest, in what I'm going to say, it's the purest form of your unconscious mind, is it's giving you the gut. It's not giving it to you necessarily in an emotion, because that would be your heart. It's not necessarily giving you in facts and figures and tangible things, because that would be logic. But it's just, I'm just got that knot in my stomach, I just got that gut, something is not right here. I don't know what it is, but something is not right here. I need to get out of here. I am not safe here. Or you know what? This person, everyone's told me this person's a complete arsehole and a bad person. Everyone around me says it all in social media. All my friends have said that. But I've just sat down with this person for the first time. And actually a good person. My gut tells me this is a good person. Folks, don't listen to the noise. It's there to keep you plugged in to the matrix. It's there to turn you into sheeple, to keep getting you to consume things because you don't feel good enough. Don't listen to the noise. Listen to your fucking gut. And the more you listen to it, the more that tuning fork gets tuned in, the more that guitar starts to play perfectly that melody. And the more you start acting for your gut, the more you'll get more of what you want deeply, unconsciously in your life, the better your life will be. A good thing that I do, and I do this with myself, not nearly enough, and I do it with my clients when I can remember, is the head, heart and gut. And I originally remember learning this from James Tripp many years ago. And it's basically you run a problem you're having in your life through the head, heart and gut. For example, let's just say, I don't know, you're having a problem with your significant other, right? And you're thinking of breaking up with them, hypothetically, right? You say, well, what does my head have to say about this? You keep speaking out, maybe you record it, you speak out loud, or maybe you write it down, you jot it down on a piece of paper, you write everything your head's saying, all the logical noise, blah, 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 facts, figures, checklists, all that stuff. Get out your system completely. It takes as much time as you need. And then say, and what does my heart say about that? Take that same situation, put it into your heart, and you get all the emotional things. Again, talk it out loud, or write it down, or record it. But all those emotions, express it, let it come out of your system. Let your heart have its say. Let your head have its say. It's important. And then when you want the truth, ask your gut. What does your gut have to say? And that's when you'll get the information that you truly need. The real crystallized gold, or the crystallized crystal. I don't know if gold can be crystallized, because it's been filtered away from that bullshit of the noise. And you're getting it in its purest form, in an unedited, undiluted way, in a way that I try and bring these podcasts to you, where they're not castrated. I'm not watching my language. I am not watching my P's and Q's. I am just expressing myself in as honest a way as I know how to, in the medium of sound for you. Listen to your gut. It will never steer you wrong. And when you listen to it, most of your problems in your life will self-correct, and most of the things that you want in life, even the stuff you're not aware of, but you just don't feel fulfilled in your life, but you're not quite sure what it is to make you feel fulfilled, what you need to do, be or say or have, your gut's going to tell you. And your gut will show you if you just shut the fuck up and stop listening to logic so much of the time, or you stop being like addiction to your emotions, going like a ping pong ball, like a crazy person who's just escaped the nervous house. Listen to your gut, feel your gut, act upon your gut, and it will never steer you wrong. Thank you for listening today. I have been Hypnopunk, coming to you live and unleashed from the penthouse suites somewhere in the metropolis called Toronto at Hypnopunk headquarters. If you would like a fact sheet that I've put together on 5 ways how to develop your gut, then please do send me an email at mail, M-A-I-L, at LUKENOSIS, LUKENOSIS.com, and say, Luke, send me one of those fact sheets. But before I do that, let me summarize. Here are the 4 ways to develop your gut reaction. Number 1, do that head, heart and gut process that I told you about earlier. If you need to rewind, you can rewind it. This stuff is free. Take a problem, whatever it is, run it through. What does my head say? Write it down, speak it. Let everything come out that needs to come out. Don't edit. Let all that logic come out, all those reasons, all those excuses. Then what does your heart have to say? Let all those emotions come out. Feel it, express it, everything. Let the force it run. And then ask, what does your gut have to say? And it will give you the undeniable truth. And then have a month. Be brave. Have a month. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. I'm just a guy having a podcast here. Don't buy the shit that I'm selling you. And it's in the same way you shouldn't buy the shit anyone is selling you. Alright? Try it on for a month. Put on this outfit, if you will, for a month. I'm just going to listen to my gut. And I'm going to go by my gut. So if my gut says I should buy that, I'm going to buy that. If my gut says I shouldn't go down this street, I'm not going to go there. If my gut says I should go on a date with this person, I'm going to do it. If my gut says I shouldn't go for that job promotion, even though it's a lot more money, I'm going to do it. But for a month, allow your gut to steer you. And then keep score. See how you did over that month. See if you're being more fulfilled in your life with more of the things that you want or not. Don't take my word for it. Just go out there and use it for yourself. See it for yourself how this feels. I think you'll be very, very surprised that if you have that little experiment for a month, how much different your life can be when you go by your gut, that rawest form of your unconscious mind, that strongest compass that you have. You don't need a GPS. You don't need that little compass on your iPhone. You have a compass that's inside you, that's been there from day one. It's called your gut. I have been Hypnopunk. Always believe.